Hey, Josh Todd, how are you, man?
What's up, man?
Oh,
Good. How are you?
what's up? Hellbound's what's up? Good God Almighty, what
Right?
have you done? It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a monster, and I appreciate that. Yeah, we're super pleased with it. I'm on the Hellbound tour right now.
Absolutely. And I think you're playing in Gettysburg tomorrow. Are you out there in
Yes, sir.
Pennsylvania at the moment?
Yeah, I'm here right now. I'm at the location we're going to play tomorrow, and just having a day off. And that's it. It's been going really well. The band's hitting on all cylinders, and the songs are great. So it's really added a whole new dimension to the set list, and we're having a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. Look, thanks very much for taking us here. I'll try not to hear too many bikes in the background getting all excited, but thanks very much for the video chat rather than phone too, mate, because we're missing you terribly in Australia. It's so great to see your face. The last time you and I caught up was on the 11th of October, I think it was, in 2019. Kind of a lot's happened since then.
Yeah, a lot has happened, and the great news is that we finally got the record out. It's hit the streets. We've broken a lot of new grounds on this record. We got a number one record in the UK for the first time, number six record in all of Japanese releases, which is the first time for us. Amazing, and we're still rolling. We've been on the road since July 1st, and it's just going really well. And it's only the first week of sales so far. So more will be revealed, and we're looking forward to getting to Australia as well. That looks like we're shaping up something in February, hopefully of next year. So that'll be great,
Oh, fingers crossed that actually takes place indeed. I was literally just
right?
talking to a friend of mine from Comp 92.3, the rock station in Las Vegas, about the tour. And so I thought I'll just ask from, if you will respectfully accept the horse's mouth, as it were, how different is now touring through the US after all of this COVID mess? I mean, it's only been a week or so, but how is it different?
Yeah, I mean, it's like normal now in the US. It's weird, like there's not a whole lot of safety protocol anymore because we have done really well on the vaccination, and people are just going to shows business as usual. So we did do a lot of socially distant shows in the past. Like earlier on in the year, we did a handful of shows in Florida. We did probably 20 shows in 2020 as well. So there were shows we did where we had to have temperature bands and socially distance and outdoor events. But now it's like people are just going in and doing shows. They're getting close together and packing them in there. So we're all vaccinated, band and crew. So we're just grateful to be on stage, and we'll do whatever it takes to get these shows off.
As will we. To get you back here, we're working on every Australian one by one to get vaccinated. But I've got to tell you, you've overtaken us in the US with your vaccination. We're still back having trouble with vaccination, which is sort of a sideline issue, except for the fact that you give us a breath of fresh air, letting us know you're still out there, still producing with Hellbound. And Josh, mi amigo, the fact is we've spoke many times and I try to be cool every time, but I can't contain myself. I'm fanboying out because of this album. Where the hell did this hardcore kick-ass gem of an album, arguably the finest in the back catalogue for Buckcherry, where did it come from?
I agree with you as well. I think it's the best Buckcherry record, and it just came from a lot of hard work. In 2020, we had a whole tour booked. We were still touring on the Warpaint record, and then month after month, our shows started being canceled and going away, and so we just kind of looked at the landscape of things, and we're like, by the time we get back to business, it's going to be a long time since our last record. So let's just concentrate on making the best record we can make. And historically, whenever this band is faced with a lot of adversities, we always make our best products, it seems like. And that's what happened. Stevie and I just got to it, and collectively between the Marty Fredrickson sessions and Stevie and I's songwriting, we wrote 28 songs for a 10-song record. And so we were very thorough, and it really paid off. There's not a bad song on this record, and super proud of it.
Absolutely. I mean, it must have been a little bit of a tussle to come up with an opening single, but So Hot just seems to be the perfect choice. But there's so many
Yeah.
contenders. Did you find that a bit of a struggle?
No, So Hot kept coming up, and when you drop a first single, you want it to be out of the box, exciting, up tempo, and we just thought it was a song you could rock to and you could dance to, and it was fun. And we thought that, hey, I think people want to start having fun at this point. We've been through enough shit. So we threw So Hot out there, and it was the right song at the right time.
And the video, I Chihuahua, Ese, the young chica, and that's bilingual. I mean, put some tight pants on a crazy bitch, but so hot.
Yeah.
With an extra
Yeah.
T. Is it about anyone in particular?
No, it's just kind of about girl power, and the fact that you don't have to migrate to a big city to be a superstar anymore. You can do it right from your own home, with social media and all of that. And that's kind of what the premise of the video was. And we had a lot of fun doing the video, and Rita Rose, she knocked it out of the park.
Absolutely did. And of course, followed up by the Hellbound video, which, from my point of view, if I could humbly offer, is absolute genius. I mean, while we can't see you live, it was just a thrilling reminder of what's in store when you do tour this album, especially down under for us. Was that the intention with this video? Just a high quality representation of what Buckcherry does best?
That's absolutely what it's about. Hellbound, the song, is about the turning point for me. The very first show I did live I was 15. I played a house party in Orange County, California. And that's when I knew nothing was going to be the same. It was just, it was amazing, and that's what the song's about, Hellbound. And so, yeah, I wanted to get back to just the pure raw element of performance and what this band is great at. And that video captures everything that Buckcherry is, the true essence of this band. And I just love it.
Now, I guess the most obvious question, I don't mean to be obtuse in asking it, but as I look at that video, you straight away jacket off, which is usually at a live show, maybe track 5 or 6, where the jacket comes off, the tats are out. How close is what you see in that video to what you envisioned back there at that first gig when you went live?
It's really close. I mean, I was like, I told Stevie, I go, I'm just going to wear cut off jean shorts and like Vans and nothing else. And he's like, cool. And so we just kind of wanted to get back to like, that's my roots, like all my record collection when I was a teenager was independent punk rock records, and I like bands like Minor Threat and the Toy Dolls and GBH and the Circle Jerks and Black Flag, so I just wanted to come at it raw and real, and that's what it was.
And I guess the big difference there, again, for me, so I don't speak for anyone else here, but as you named those legendary bands, no doubt influences back in the day for you, there is such a polish to everything that Buckcherry does. And I guess that's the big difference. The video clips, the music, there is just such a polish to everything. Was that part of your intention to follow that track, but also to put a higher level of achievement to it, a higher level of polish and quality, if you will?
Yeah, that's all with our team. We really have elevated our game a lot. We've learned a lot over the years and through trial and error, and I think we really know ourselves at this point. I think that's what you mean. We just, and our team knows that, it goes from our management to our label to, the guy who's directing the videos, Curtis, we're just getting one guy to do all the videos this time. And it's really worked well. And he's got a good touch, and he knows how to bring out what's cool about this band, and we trust each other. That's the whole thing, and just like Marty Fredrickson, producing the record, he's just we trust him, and he becomes like almost like the sixth band member, when we're working together. So all these things have made this synergy happen with this record cycle. That's, we're seeing the results.
Absolutely. I will argue with you just there a little bit, not because I want to get my ass kicked when you get here, but mainly with the trial and error. It seems to me trial and success, because you return to work with Mike Plotnikoff with Warpaint, who
Yeah.
also produced 15. And when you put those two together, just that step up in quality, and you return to Black Butterfly days with Marty Fredrickson on this one. And the achievement, I mean, it's just phenomenal. I can't help but think, and I will put to you as I hold up a couple of album covers here, I can't help but feel a little bit of this, Jim, actually was brought out of you and Stevie particularly, and Marty managed to get that somehow onto Hellbound. Is there any truth to the observation, or am I just nuts?
When I see all that, I just, we're just really passionate about what we're doing, and we work really hard. And Marty is always writing songs, not just with us, with everybody, and so he's really got that songwriting muscle working, and it's fine-tuned. And so we know when we get in a room with him that we have to bring our A game. And so when you show all those records, I just see practice, 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 all the way up to, like, when preparation meets opportunity. And that's what happened with the Hellbound record. It was just, all of us working so hard, doing our due diligence, writing song after song, record after record, to get to this moment where we got to make the record of our career one more time, where we're in a pandemic, where there's all this stuff going on, where the world is in turmoil. And here we come out with this just amazing, just a piece of art, that we can go out and maybe lift people's spirits and get to a new level with our own careers as well.
Absolutely. And with a title like Hellbound, I mean, could it be more apt? The only thing I think of that could come close is perhaps Overkill, with Bobby Blitz screaming batshit crazy at the moment. But I mean, Hellbound is just the perfect title. Agreed?
I totally agree. And we, when we first threw that out there, our manager didn't like it. He just thought it sounded like a metal record. And, I was like, no, it's good. It's like big and bold, and we can do really cool artwork. And he's like, no, he wanted to title it. We threw around a few titles, and I go, okay, let's just simmer on it. And we just let it sit there, because the record was done in October 2020. So we had been talking about this for a long time, because, we knew we had some time. We weren't going to drop it until we could tour on it. So, finally he circled back to, he's like, okay, let's call it Hellbound. It is the best title, So yeah,
did agree.
yeah, it's
Absolutely. And look, I can't get Marty out of my head at this stage, because I can only imagine all of you getting together, and it's almost like Marty had a vision from Black Butterfly through to now. Like he has had this in mind all the time, watching you develop, watch you grow, and it's just all of you have put together the perfect album with perfect tracks. One thing that I did want to ask you about, if I could please, Josh, was Kevin leaving the band, and you've got Billy Rowe from Jet Boy, who has stepped up, axe in hand, kicking ass. How did that whole change come about?
Well, Kevin's actually, there's nothing we could do about it. He wanted to, after COVID, he figured out he wanted to be home with his family more, and
Yep.
and God bless him. I mean, there's nothing we could do about that. And Billy has been on our radar for a while. Even before Kevin, we had looked at him, and Stevie knew him, and I didn't know him, and so cut to, we had to get to this place, and he goes, let's look at Billy. And I go, okay, why don't we just go out to have some breakfast? He goes, all right. So we went and had some breakfast, because I already knew his history. And so I just wanted to kind of know if I liked the guy, and we sat down and had some food, and just a lovely guy. And we had really great conversation. And, we come from the same, school. And so it was pretty easy, it was pretty effortless. And that's what we wanted, because at the end of the day, what we know with going through all these lineup changes is that we got to really like the person, it's good that they got to know how to play their instrument well, of course, but then you got to get to know the person, because at the end of the day, you're going to be in very close quarters with this person for months and months and years, and you got to like them, as a human being. And he's just a great guy, and we very easygoing, and we're getting along great, and he plays great, and so it's been a good fit so far. So we're going to keep just moving forward, and one day at a time.
Now, I'm sure I've asked you this before, and I don't mean to trick over old ground, but I think it's the perfect time to ask you again. With Billy brought to the band, what's it like for you knowing that Stevie D, who you have so much history with, you've been through so much shit together, and so much good times and bad times, and the fact is, no matter what happens in your separate lives, he's always thinking about who he meets and where they fit in, or that's how it seems. So he's got you back creatively.
Yeah, I don't think he was like plotting anything. I just think, he just, guitar players, they're really into their instrument, and Billy owns a guitar shop in North Hollywood as well. So they just geek out on the technical side of being guitar players, so I think it's this tight-knit community. So yeah, I think Stevie just had that on his radar all the time, for whatever reason. But yeah, it did seem pretty convenient, but I think that's just the way it happened.
Absolutely. Organic, like a lot of your music. I remember remarking that right now on Warpaint, the second track, that gave the album an air of maturing to me, like a fine red wine, I think we said at the time. But Hellbound is different. Hellbound is like setting the bar again, and just comes out and thoroughly kicks everyone's ass right from the outset. It's thoroughly brilliant stuff. Was there anything that you can put your finger to that was different? I mean, I realize that 2020 is a while ago now, and it's been on the shelf waiting to be released. But was there something markedly different for you in this album that gives it that extra push over the cliff, to quote an old film?
Yeah, I think honestly it was the turmoil and the pandemic. I think that was like the motivating factor. I mean, in the United States at the time, not only did we had COVID, we had the political situation that was insane. We had gun violence and racism and protests, and it was insane. And I don't know, stuff like that with this band, any kind of like super craziness, we just kind of really come together, and we're like a force that cannot be fucked with. We just kind of got into a super hyper focus mode. We're going to shut out the outside world, and the only thing is going to be making this record just undeniable. And that was it. And that happened prior to making the 15 record too, so I don't know, I just think it was the right things came together at the right time to make this great record.
Now, with that break in the middle, what's it like now, or it's been like over the last week, to watch people now share in releasing that angst, releasing all of that frustration after the pandemic, watching these songs do exactly what you had in mind? What's that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's connecting the dots. It's like, you got a great record, you got a great team, everything's great, but sometimes you put out a record and you feel all these things, but it doesn't connect with the public for whatever reason, the way you want it to, and this time it all is, and that's like the icing on the cake for us, because we knew it was great, but the ultimate deciding factor is when you release it and it hits the streets, and what are people going to decide for themselves, and it's just been so well received, and we've broken new grounds with the #1 record in the UK for the first time. We've never done that. #6 record in Japan, never done that, in our whole career, and like just things like that. It's very exciting for us, and we've gotten over 400,000 views of the So Hot video already, and Hellbound's over 300,000. So it's going really well.
And it's all thumbs up. It's brilliant stuff. It really is. You're the archetypical magician of live performance. I think that's undeniable, whether people like this genre of music or not, but you thrill audiences everywhere. What is it like for you inside when you watch a song that you've labored over, with other collaborators, finally take its first steps like a young infant out onto the stage in front of a crowd? Is there really a special feeling watching a new song come to life?
Yeah, I'm always watching. I got my eyes open while I'm singing, and I'm performing, but I'm always paying attention to how people are reacting to what parts of songs, what sections of songs they love. I put that all, I'm logging all that information in my brain as well as when I'm performing. And it's really exciting because, you know, you labor over songwriting and you listen to these songs over and over and over, and you're dissecting them and you're making them better. You're expanding this part or taking away this, section or rewriting this section. And so anyways, they go through so many changes by the time they get to the public. And so seeing it, you're hyper aware of how people are reacting to the music, and that's just exciting for us. I really like that time because, like I said, you just log it in so that when you go make another record, you kind of know what to shoot for, when you're writing new songs.
Absolutely. And look, if I could make one observation, being a close observer myself, wherever possible, but it seems to me that this record's different. As is typical with Genius, you seem never quite satisfied and keep forging ahead with musical development. But I've got to tell you, Josh, listening to you speak about this album, you seem so happy and satisfied. Honestly, thank you and well done.
Yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. You get it, and that's important. And we can't wait to get there. Like I said, we're working on the new year, going to be there. So let's get it. You guys get your act together and let's get over there.
We'll get that done as soon as possible. We'll put that to the Prime Minister. We need Buckcherry here and now. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's great to catch up again.
Let's do that. All right, man. Thank you. Be
Take
good.
care, my friend. Talk soon.
All right. Cheers.